Okay, just a couple of examples that I wanted to go through with you using that quadratic formula. So just remember, here's the quadratic formula. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using here on each of these examples. So first off, our step is to make sure that everything is written in standard form and set equal to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 12 here to get it over to the left side. So 2x squared plus 7x minus 9 is equal to 0. And then we're going to plug in the values. So a is equal to 2, b is equal to 7, and c is equal to negative 9 here. And that's what we're going to use. So x is equal to negative, b value is 7, plus or minus the square root of 7 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 9, divided by 2 multiplied by a, which is 2. Okay, and so here's where we start simplifying. So negative times 7 is still negative 7. 7 times 7 here is 49. Negative 4 times a positive 2 times a negative 9 gives us a positive 72. And 2 times 2 is 4. So under that square root here, we still have 49 plus 72, which is 121. So I'm going to bring this back up here. Negative 7 plus or minus 11, because the square root of 121 is 11, and divide that by 4. And then we're just going to go ahead and split this into 2. So negative 7 plus 11 divided by 4, and negative 7 minus 11 divided by 4. So if I simplify this first one, we end up with negative 7 plus 11, which is 4, divided by 4, which is 1. And then over here we have negative 7 minus 11, which is negative 18, divided by 4, which is going to be negative 9 halves when we simplify it. So our final answer on here is negative 9 halves and a positive 1. Okay, so notice again, our answers don't have to be whole numbers. Sometimes it's going to be 3 1/2, 4 1/2, 5 1/2, or 5 2/3, or whatever the case may be. Our answers don't have to be whole numbers. Okay. So let's look at another example here. Negative x squared minus 10x minus 21. It's already in standard form. It's already equal to 0. So now we're just going to plug in values. So we're going to start with a, which is a negative 1, b, which is a negative 10, and c, which is a negative 21. And so those are the values that I'm going to plug into that equation. So negative, b is a negative 10, plus or minus the square root of, b is negative 10, which is squared, minus 4, times a, which is negative 1, times c, which is negative 21, divided by 2 times a, which is a negative 1. So again, we're going to simplify. So that negative 10 and that negative outside cancels to become a positive 10. We still have that plus or minus. We do negative 10 squared, which is 100. And then we have a negative 4 times a negative 1 times a negative 21, which gives us a negative 84. Divided by 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So when we simplify again, we still have 10 plus or minus, but we're looking at here 100 minus 84, which is 16, divided by negative 2, and then we're going to bring it up here to finish it off. We have 10 plus or minus, okay, the square root of 16 is 4, divided by negative 2, and we're just going to go ahead and split it now into 2. So x is equal to 10 plus 4 divided by negative 2, and x is equal to 10 minus 4 divided by negative 2. So I just took that plus or minus, and I made one plus, and I made the other negative. Everything else stays the same. And then we just solve. 10 plus 4 is 14, divided by negative 2 is negative 7. And here 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. So our final answers here are going to be negative 7 and negative 3.